Hello and good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Now, tonight is going to be admittedly a shorter one than my previous one because I'm only talking about one thing tonight, and there's only so much I can say on the subject. And you've probably seen what it is if you've looked at the title. Now, before I do start, I just want to give a little disclaimer. Even though I call this a painkiller addiction, what I went through was minor compared to what other people have gone through with painkiller addiction. However, I'll be talking from my personal experience, okay? And as I've just said, my experience is nothing compared to what others have gone through, so please, if you are watching and listening, please don't go off in the comments about how, oh, you don't know what real painkiller addiction is like. So with that said, I can start. And if you are thinking of commenting something like that, you can just fuck right off, okay? Because I've made my disclaimer. And in no way am I pretending that what I went through was worse than what other people have gone through. Okay? Right. Now those idiots are gone, let's begin. Sorry. Keep itching when I do this. Anyway. My painkiller addiction. I haven't actually, well, I do occasionally take painkillers for headaches and stuff, but it's when I actually need them, not when I just want to take one. See, I was in my local pharmacy today. I was looking for something for indigestion because I've had a bit of indigestion lately. Don't know why. Indigestion and heartburn, you know? That feeling where it just feels like you've got hot air trapped from around about here. Weird. Anyway, I was looking for all the different things and I thought to myself, I remember these. I was looking at them and they were two soluble. It was a packet of soluble painkillers. You're going to see a picture on the screen right now of the packaging because it's a famous brand that you would have seen in most supermarkets and pharmacies and other places that sell this type of product. And made me realise, it reminded me of when I was addicted to these things. I mean, not a massive addiction. I mean, it's not like, say, Matthew Perry, who was taking so many painkillers that he's just lost years of his life that he just can't remember a single thing from that time. I remember every day. Well, I remember about as much as most people my age do, I think. But to get back to it, for years, and many years actually, I suppose really on and off really, but about 10 years ago, I think maybe 8 years ago, it got really bad and I became addicted to soluble painkillers. Now the reason I was taking soluble ones was, well, there's two reasons. The first one was that they worked quicker than regular ones. The second one was that until I was about 28, I couldn't really take pills. Yes, I know, have a good laugh. Done? Anyway, as I was saying, I couldn't really take pills, so I used to, take soluble ones, and I always used the excuse of, oh, they work quicker. Well, in a way, they actually did, I found. Even after I conquered my fear of pills, because, as it sounds, I was always terrified. I just saw these little things, they'd be tiny little things like that sometimes, and I'd think, that's going to get stuck in my throat. So if I had to take something when I was really young, I would try and smash them up, get the little thing and smash them. So there'd be little bits of powder and put in a bit of water and, string about and down. And you know what? They were the most disgusting things going. It was probably, thinking about it now, it's probably one of the worst things I've ever really tasted, pills. You swallow them for a reason, people. For a very good reason. Now, I think I was about 28, 29 when I fully conquered my pill phobia type thing, really. Because, now, the reason I conquered it was because I had just entered a relationship. And I had a new girlfriend who I was convinced at the time loved me very much. And I thought to myself, if she takes one look at me and thinks this guy can't take pills, she's going to ditch me and find a man who can take pills. So I learnt. I bought some Pro Plus, I think they're called, as caffeine pills. I wasn't really after, the caffeine boost, but there were tiny little things. There were teeny tiny things, teeny tiny compared, much more than all the others. So I thought, if I can take them, then I'll be able to take others. And lo and behold, it worked. Took a bit of practice. I eventually learned my method is one in the tongue, water, drink, honey, like that. That's how I do it. Now, my dad always used to say to me, Jim, just put it to the back of your throat. Just put it to the back of your throat and then swallow. I couldn't do that. Because every time I'd done that, I always wanted to retch up. I think the term is retch, not retch up. Not that it really matters. But anyway, if that fear conquered, you'd think, I wouldn't be addicted to soluble painkillers. Especially at the rate they charge up. Anyway. When I say charge up, I mean, inflation, money going up and up and up and up. Anyway, it was several years later, when I was in my mid-30s, I started getting headaches. I'd wake up, I have a headache. So I'd get up in the mornings, I'd have a quick drink of water to wake myself up, do my normal morning ablutions as one does, and then I'd get to soluble. I get a cup with a little bit of water in, pop the soluble aspirin in, plop, plop. I think they're more, they contained aspirin, paracetamol, and caffeine and other little bits. I think the original ones I took when I was a kid were aspirins, but these were just everything. Anyway, pop the twin, plop, plop. They'd go psss, fizz, and I'd be like with my cup moving it around. You gotta imagine a cup in my hand here, people, okay? Because I can't do the CGI thing where I have one in my hand, and I don't really want to go and get a cup now because I've started recording. No, I don't have one anymore. I got rid of that one. Anyway, imagine the cup in my hand, swing around, and then I go, oh, because it didn't taste good. Better than an actual mashed up pill did, but still not good. Anyway, this went on for many years. I'd wake up most mornings, take one, or two, I should say, because it always came in twos. And this went on for many years, and I didn't even realise it just became a habit. And one day I said to Jim, I think you have an addiction. Not only that, but you spend a crap ton of money on these things because they're not cheap. They're really not cheap. So what I did was, I said, I'm going to fight this addiction. So I got a calendar. I had a calendar. I got a pen. And I put a circle. Each day I took something for a headache, put a little circle in it. That way I could keep tabs on. Great, right? Well, yes, it did kind of work. And eventually got to the point where I'm taking most days. I'd look at my calendar, I'd be like, most days I'm taking something for a headache. And eventually I got this little thing where I would go longer and longer. 3 days, 4 days, not much, but it's a start. And I thought I had it under. I thought, 3 days here, 4 days there, it's getting better. But the problem was, my morning headaches started disappearing, which was good. But then I started getting headaches in the afternoon, sometimes the evening. And it'd be like 1:30 in the afternoon. I'd be thinking, oh, I've got a teensy tiny bit of a headache. There, take some. Plop, plop, psst, down. And this went on for many years, where I kind of had moments where I wouldn't take any for a long time, and then I'd fall back in. And it eventually got better, because I realised that I wasn't really getting the majority of my headaches were not really headaches. It was ironically my brain up here, because I read on this thing well, I say thing, I mean NHS website. Because there's this thing called paracetamol headaches, where you take so many that your body likes it. And when you don't take paracetamol, your body finds reasons to take it. So for me, it was headaches. So my body would send a message up here saying, got pain up here, got pain up here. And my brain would think, oh crap, we better take something. So I go to the kitchen where the medicine is. 2 pills in the cup, blop, blop, psst. Down it goes. And I did get better. Sometimes that 4 days I would eventually come 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, and I was getting better and better. And I overcame it. Because one day I looked at my calendar and I thought to myself, it's been 4 weeks since I've taken any. And do you know what I did to stop it? Now you're going to laugh at this. I stopped buying them. Because one day I was in a supermarket doing the shopping and I thought I better pick some up on low. Then I thought to myself, if I don't pick any up, I can't take them. What's my body going to do then, eh? I mean, you can pick up regular paracetamol for fairly cheap. For a fraction of the price of what I was paying for what I wanted. But taking those 2 little paracetamol pills didn't give me the same buzz I got from the Solubles. And it actually worked. Took a bit of time, but it worked. Because I wasn't waking up with headaches anymore. And when the afternoon came, sometimes my body would say, you've got a headache. And I'd be like, no, I ain't got any Solubles, so I'm not going to take anything. I'm just going to drink more water. And it worked. I haven't taken any Solubles for about 18 months now. 18 months, think about that. Because when the worst time for me actually was when I was on holiday. I went on holiday one year, I say year, it was 2023. I went to Finland for a week, all by myself. It's brilliant. If you haven't been, I recommend it. Anyway, at the end of each day, I'd go back to the hotel room and I would take 2 of these pills in the water, plop, plop, swing around, psst, down every day when I got back. And every day I'd always come back with some food, like a burger or pizza or something nice to treat myself. And then I would, and with that same cup, with all the little bits, and I'd just pour in a soft drink because I was on holiday. And I would finish it all off. And I did this every day on holiday. It wasn't good, people. It wasn't good. And if I'm honest, half those headaches weren't real. I'm willing to bet that 95% of them weren't real. And if you're thinking, James, is that really a head addiction? I'll say yes. Granted, it didn't destroy my life, but it did in a way because it took away part of me. But I got that part of me back. I mean, I still get headaches, but you're talking like once a month. I mean, I still write them down. I still mark on my calendar now by habit. And it's about once, maybe twice a month now. It's really good. I beat the addiction. And I'm really proud of myself for that. Now, I know as I said before, it wasn't a real addiction compared to what people go through, but for me, at the time, it felt it was. And I beat it. And that's all that matters. Okay, and I thought about this today and I thought, this was before, and I got over this long before I decided I was going to actually do something in my life and improve myself. So, that is proof that I can do things on my own without outside interference. So as I said before, I am the man. I have the power. I can do it. No matter how big a hole I dig myself into, I can dig myself out. And that makes me extremely happy to think about. And if you're watching this, you too have the power. Okay? You have the power. Okay? To get past your obstacles. And if it's hard, send me a message and I'll say hello back. And I'll remind you that you are the man or woman or pronoun of your choice. Okay? It doesn't matter. You are the pronoun of your choice. Okay? Not aside. Okay? Repeat after me. Alright? Repeat as I say it. Okay? I am the pronoun of my choice. I have the power. I can do it. I will do it. Okay? Actually, no. Let's do this one more time. One more time. I am the pronoun of my choice. I have the power. I can do it. I will do it. Okay? It's not hard to remember. Although if you do have trouble remembering, I'll understand because I sometimes do. But try and remember it. Okay, and try to apply that, okay, towards any situation you have in your life, okay? Also, you can't apply it to everything, okay? There are some things that are out of our control, but a lot of things aren't. So I'm going to finish this here. I just want to say, I believe in every single one of you, okay? And I know you're watching. I believe in every single one of you, okay? And you can do it. Okay? Now be strong, people, okay? Because you can do it. But life is not easy. It won't be easy, but you know what? If it wasn't easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. Now take care of yourselves, okay? I love each and single one of you. Bye.